Oh, hello. What is up, you dirty bitches? So, in conclusion, this should be like part 7, I guess. Part 7 of my saga. And so basically, I just want to kind of sum it up. So, after basically about 35 years of, you know, opening my house and doing, everything I can to accommodate certain people and, doing everything I can to make everybody else happy. I, after I went to medical school, I decided to be a minimalist. And I, started getting rid of my overhead. I started eliminating bills. And, I've never been high maintenance per se anyway. I don't shop at the mall. I do my own nails, all that shit. So it wasn't hard for me to transition, into a minimalist. I've never been, I don't need the latest and greatest piece of crap to keep up with the Joneses and all that. I just don't. So after being invited by this main character and meeting this other person from another club who I'd never seen before, and taken out 400 miles away from home, and abandoned 9 times in 10 months and gaslit and pretty much, psychologically tortured. It was pretty easy to understand that, well, at first I was traumatized. Obviously, I'd never been with anybody that was so cruel and flipped the script so quickly. It was shocking to me. I was hook, line, and sinker. I was all in, and he knew it. He knew that. I told him, you know. So when he got me out there, he flipped the script, and I'd been calling everybody, trying to get my shit out of there, and nobody would help me. One of the things this guy used to tell me, after he got me out there, of course, he started getting jealous of me spending time doing my art or whatever, and he started telling me that my art was no good, that he'd never seen me do anything good, and told me that I didn't have any value, because I didn't come with a dowry or anything. So again, part of this club dying off, it was dying off pretty much about 10 years ago, and so they started recruiting. They started recruiting like a lot. Some people choose to do more. It's none of my business what they do, but apparently, they wanted money. They wanted people with money in the club, but because, that club it didn't come from money, I can guarantee that. So they started bringing in these other members, new members, branching out. They wanted members with, they started learning from the other clubs. Basically, they probably wanted, members with jobs and stuff. So anyway, I guess they couldn't live by ripping off women all the time. Anyway, so this guy takes me out there and gaslights me and pretty much tells me that I have no value, no worth, because I'm not a money grubber like he was. And after stealing everything he wanted from me, coins, all kinds of shit, you know, and laughing about it. The very first night, he was, he thought it was funny. He thought it was funny that he could fuck with me the way he was because I was fragile, emotionally fragile. I was, being tortured by my neighbors already before that. So I was pretty messed up over it. I was pretty messed up, and needless to say, I'd have been willing to come back home, no problem, no problem. But he chose to drag me around, and he wouldn't let me and my stuff come home at the same time. He constantly just wanted to, fuck with me, I guess. So I called I called everybody that I could, to help me do something. I don't know what, because who's going to come save you from some joker's house, right? Who's going to come save you? Nobody. Nobody. And then after I found what I found out about some crazy shit, now who's going to help you? Who's going to help you now? Because you can't call anybody now. Nobody. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters? Because, yeah, nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to come save you from this shit. And so, needless to say, yeah, I was all in, and this motherfucker wanted to play these games with me, and and then I found out about this shit. No. So, it was less than a month after I got back home. Uh, Everything fell apart. Um, I lost my apartment. I lost everything. Lost all my art. I lost everything. Because now these motherfuckers got the word on the street that, you know, I'll tell you what. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't back down, and I'm not intimidated by bullies, ever. I don't give a shit, man, how big you are, man, woman, or monster. I will not back down to a bully. And and I know for a fact they're not going to come and ask me what happened. They're not going to come and ask me. They're just going to talk shit about me behind my back and try to get everybody to hate me. Well, guess what? You're going to have a lot of work to do because, I might not have a whole bunch of friends around me, but I got plenty of friends, and you can't convince everybody. The people that know me well enough, and I would think after 35 years that some of these fuckers would know me well enough too. That that's okay though, because I guess if I had a bunch of money, it'd be different. They'd still have a use for me, or maybe I'd have more value in their eyes. Well, I tell you what, this is where I'm at with it. I have lost jobs because of these fuckers. I've lost, opportunities because being associated with these motherfuckers. So I'm just going to call it good, man, and let my enemies define me. Let that define who I am, because you know what? That's where my boundary is, man, and I don't accept that shit. So yeah, if you want to call yourself my enemy, let that define me. That's fine, because you know what? At the end of the day, I had misplaced loyalties anyway. I thought I thought that they mattered more than most people in the world. And the fact is that as soon as I didn't have a use for them, as soon as I didn't have something they could take from me, and that's fucked up because I used to believe in righteousness, in that there was some of that still left in some of the clubs, and I still believe that there probably is, but not in that club. And certainly probably not in the other one, because when I got back, so what happened with me out at this fucking this Joker's place, right? Then I come back, and the person that invited me to that party, said party, had someone else invite me over for cheap drinks that night, and invited me over just so he could tell me that I was 86 because of what happened at this other fucking club, this fucking other cat's fucking place. Had nothing to do with that club, but okay, all right, well, that's cool. Even though I called them, asking them, to get me the fuck out of here, right? No, they couldn't do that, but don't you can say whatever you want. Yeah, I fucking flipped out. Yeah, I did. But did anybody ask me why the fuck I flipped out? No, they didn't. They didn't ask why. So before you want to go off on that tangent about what the fuck I did, guess what? Why do you suppose I did that? Why the fuck do you suppose I'd put my fucking life on the line? And what kind of chump would I be if I didn't do nothing? So, anyway, that's all I got. That's all I know. That's pretty funny. Bunch of big-ass fucking bikers. All, what? A little girl? A little girl? You're so threatened by me? That's all right. That's all I got. Peace out, bitches.